All right, I'm here today with Shawn, and she's been a member of our Total Life Fitness program for a while now, and she's going to share some of her biggest wins and results from our program. So, Shawn, first of all, just start out by telling us a little bit about yourself and what you're struggling with prior to joining our program.
Well, I've always been an avid weightlifter, gym rat, I guess you would say. Not consistent my entire life. I think in my early to mid 20s, late 20s, before I started having children, I was very consistent. Went through a phase. I've always been active, whether it's yoga, walking, whichever. And then I think probably when I was about 43, I got back into lifting pretty heavily. And then I went back to work full time and COVID hit and I put on so much weight. Well, to me, it was so much, but 15 extra pounds that I was not used to was going through menopause. Um, so yeah, I just was feeling like garbage, inflammation, brain fog, lack of energy, and just no motivation. So I felt like I had to do something.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm sure an identity shift from who you always felt you've been. So, ultimately we connected a while back, and just curious, did you have any hesitations around joining our program, and why did you ultimately decide to join?
Well, cost was a little bit of a hesitation. However, my mom has had many strokes and diagnosed with cancer. And I just was like, I got to start being preventive and proactive with my health. I was getting tired of the brain fog. COVID really did a number on me as far as even anxiety. That's something I never experienced until COVID. Um, so I felt like I was just spinning out of control, the inflammation. I was just tired of feeling like garbage. And I felt like I just it was worth the investment to get myself back on track and be healthy so that I can be maybe see here for my daughter and future grandchildren if it ever comes down the road. So, um, and to be able to be active with them too. I work with elderly, so I see young 60-year-olds and really run down 60-year-olds who did not take care of themselves. And I just don't want to be that person. I want to be able to be active until, you know, ripe age. And there are some 84-year-olds I have that are super active that could probably kick my butts.
Yeah, for sure. So you see it.
But so that was, I would say the big thing is just investing in my health.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And you've definitely been doing a great job. So let's share some of the specific results and wins that you've had.
Well, I'm down 17 pounds. The weight is, or the inches isn't quite so significant for me. It's like 3.5 inches in the waist, 2 inches in the hips. Um, but I've gotten some definition back. The clothing sizes, I was going into 8 to 10s, which I've really never been in. Um, and I'm back to like twos and fours. So I'm fitting into my old clothes again. I love it. And I feel great. The inflammation, the brain fog, way more efficient at work, even without the brain fog. That's just crazy. Um, so yeah, I think those are, and then just routine. That's the other thing too. I get paralyzed if I get out of a routine. I don't know what it is, but it's like I overthink it and I just get paralyzed. And it was so hard for me to get back into the gym and get back active again. And this is the accountability of this program has really helped me get back on track again.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess that's probably the biggest wins for me is um, clothing size, brain fog, energy, consistency, routine. So yeah, it's been good.
absolutely. Yeah, all big wins, especially like I said, the weight loss, the clothing size, like feeling better, all really good things. So, now that you've been in our program for a while, some people might be on the fence thinking about joining. So why would you recommend our program to someone else?
Well, I think the accountability has been great. Being able to check in every day. I think the other thing too I struggled with earlier was I also realized I was calorie deficient. So I would just grab my eating habits were horrible after COVID. I would probably eat my first meal at 3 o'clock and cram all my calories in between there and 11 o'clock at night. And it was garbage. So I think this program has really helped with the meal planning aspect of it. I think I never even had, even when I was in my best shape, was never really great about meal planning. I would just eat whatever I wanted and was fortunate enough that I never put on weight. I think I kind of used my uh cardio and weightlifting as an excuse to shove whatever I wanted in my mouth. So I am making better food choices now. And I think the meal planning and tracking macros has been huge. And really making a plan of trying to meal prep at least twice a week to take the, I'll make double of everything and throw half in the freezer. So if there's a week I'm off, I at least have a few things I can grab. Um, that has been really huge for me. And I'm not one that can eat the same thing every day. I know some people can just do chicken breasts and vegetables and they're just okay with that. I need a lot more variety than that. So I'll even just do crock pot meal type things with lots of fresh vegetables in them, um, or even roasting a lot of stuff. So that has been a game changer for me, is just what I'm putting in my mouth. And I am always would say I was a food grazer and sweet tooth. And I have to say, since I started tracking my calories, I think I'm up to like 1900 calories, which for me is a lot. And I do not crave sweets at all. I can walk right past them. It's just, it was, yeah, the sugar. It's really, the protein has helped eliminate my sugar cravings a lot. So that, I think that has been huge. And then the support group is great. Lexi does great, Lexi Coffee Talks. Those have been really helpful in just learning about anything, whether it's a menopause type thing or proper proteins, complete proteins, things that I never really understood. Um, so yeah, that has all been super helpful. So for me,
That's great to hear. Yeah, so happy to hear that, considering where you were to where you are now and all the positive changes that you're continuing to make. Really happy to see all your progress and thanks for sharing.
you're welcome anytime.